We can see about email. What are the email protocols? SMTP first one is, next one is MIME, third one is IMAP, third one is POP3. First one SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, and MIME stands for IMAP stands for Message Agent Access Agent, and POP3 means Post Office Protocol. So, most internet services we use electronic mail. Electronic mail is the one of the oldest network application. The three main components of a email are user agent, message transfer agent, message access agent. So, when the sender and the receiver of the email are the same system, we need only two agents and no message transfer agent. When the sender and the receiver of an email are on different system, we need two user agent, two parts of MTA and two MMA. So, here what the same system means, no user agent will be accessed. If we are sending mails on the different system, we need two user agents. So when the sender and the receiver of the email are on the same system, we need only two user agents, and so no message transfer. When the sender and the receiver on the email are a different system, we need two user agents, two pairs of MTA and two MMA servers. So, working of email. I need to send a message to you. How I will send? First, there will be a mail server uses a queue to store message waiting to be sent. In the email, we have seen side all mail, drafts, sent items, sent items. So, in the send items, what and all we are sending, it will be stored there. The message, however, needs to be sent through the internet. So, both are using the user agent MTA, mail transfer access. The server needs to run all the time because it does not know when a client will ask for a connection. The user agent at the Bob side also allows Bob to read the received message. So, how the simple mail transfer protocol work? Here first one is the sender, second one is the sender mail server. What are the sender sending the message? It will be stored in the sender mail server and it is moved through the SMTP protocol through internet, and the receiver will get the message and it will be stored in the receiver mail server. This is the working of a simple mail transfer protocol. So first one is the user agent. What do you mean by user agent? The first component of the electronic mail system is the user agent. It provides services to the agent to make the process of sending and receiving messages easily. The user agent is a software package that composes, reads, replies to and forwards message. What will be the user agent? And it will compose, reads and replies and it forwards the message. It also handles local mailbox on the user computer. It also handles user mailbox. So next one is message transfer agent. So MTA, what do you mean by MTA? Message transfer agent. The actual mail transfer is done through message transfer agent. To send a mail, a system must have the client MTA, and to receive mail, a system must have a server. So, in order to send a mail, the client MTA will be present and also the system must have a server MTA. The formal protocol depends MTA and server in the internet is called Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. Next, message format of an email. Email message consists of two parts. One is header and the body. Each header line contains type and the value separated by a column. Some set header consists of identifier, sender and the message. To mail address of the recipient, subject says about purpose of the message. Data, timestamp of when the messages was transmitted. Header is separated from the body by a blank line. So what are the parts of a mail? Header and a body. Each header file contains type and a value separated by a colon. So in the from address, what it will be sent? The sender, who is the sender, and in the to mail address of the recipient. In the subject, what will it says? About the purpose of the message, and in the date, time stamp of when the message was transmitted. So body contains the actual message. For example, I am sending, before and all, we will send a letter to a person. In the postal box, what we will write? We will write a to address and a from address. From indicates where it should be sent, and to indicates whom to send. So inside the cover, what will be there? The body of the message is there. In the future, so in 1993, email was extended. So in email, the same postal was sent. Use of internet. So from to my name will be there. My email address will be there. In the to, the recipient email address will be there. In the body, what is the message, or the what is the message to be sent to the receiver, that will be included. So when was the email extended? 1993. It also same as the WhatsApp. Before WhatsApp, email was launched. It also include text messages we can send. We can attach files like images, files, documents, each and everything. So this can be extended version, and it is known as multi-purpose mail extension. So now the thing is MIME. What is meant by MIME? Multi-purpose mail extension. Next one is symbol mail transfer protocol. It is a standard protocol to transferring the mail between two hosts. In TCP/IP protocol suite, SMTP is not concerned with the format or content of message. Whatever we need, we can send. Uses information, that's all, written on the envelope of the mail. It does not look, SMTP does not look the content of the mail, what we have written and what and all included. It doesn't work. It will just see the from and the to address, and it will transmit the message. Here the protocol used is TCP/IP. TCP means transmission control protocol, and IP is the internet protocol. So here we can see. So here sender is there. SMTP will send a message, and the message will be stored in sender's mail server. Through the internet, it goes to the receiver's mail servers. Receiver will receive the message, and it will be stored in the receiver mailbox. One member is sending the message to my WhatsApp. Where it will be stored? In my gallery or in the files it will be stored. The same here in mail. I am sending the message. The message for me will be stored in the send items. Once it is sent to the receiver, and if he receives the message, it will be stored in his receiver mailbox. That is the working of the SMTP. So SMTP commands and responses. The operations of SMTP consist of series of commands and responses exchanged between SMTP sender and SMTP receiver. In SMTP, there will be sender and the receiver. The initiative is with SMTP sender who established TCP connection. What do you mean by TCP? Transmission Control Protocol. Once the connection is established, the SMTP sender sends commands over the connection to the receiver. The command is a MTA client to a MTA server. How the message will be sent? It is sent to the MTA client to the MTA server. The response is from MTA server to the MTA client. First we are sending from client to server, and how it will be receiving? It is receiving through server to a client. So next one is, what are SMTP operation? SMTP operation occurs in 3 phases. What are the 3 phases? The basic SMTP operation occurs in 3 phases. First one, connection will be established between client and the server and mail transfer. Next one is connection termination. So what do you mean by connection setup? I am going to send a mail to you, example. So one connection will be created. I am sending the mail to you. Next one, mail transfer. I am sending the message and you are receiving the message. After that I am terminating the connection. So the sequence is quite simple. That sender opens a TCP connection with the receiver. Okay. Once the connection is established, the receiver identifies itself with a service ready. I will send a hi message. If it is received to the receiver, the services connection is established smoothly. The receiver accepts the sender identification with OK. If I am sending hi, he will accept and send the reply as OK. So I can accept the message will be sent correctly. If the mail service on the destination is unavailable, the destination host returns a service not available. Next one, multi-purpose internet mail extension. What is multi-purpose internet mail extension? It is called as MIME. So SMTP provides a small email service, while MIME adds multimedia capability to SMTP. What is a MIME? Is an extension to SMTP and used to overcome the problems and limitations of SMTP. Email system was designed to send a message only in ASCII format. So what do you mean by ASCII? American symbolized code for international interchange. I am sending a message. So in between one person will be there. He doesn't identifies the message. For that the message will be converted into ASCII format. So languages such as French, Chinese, etc. are not supported. Image, audio and video files cannot be sent. MIME adds the following features. First, in the postal we can send only the letter. After that, how it was developed, we can send courier. After that we can send, now we can send everything through the courier. Isn't it? The same thing in the email. First, when they have started, we can send only the messages from sender to the receiver. After that, in 1993, MIME was established and it creates the extension so that we can send images, files, data, pictures, everything. Okay. Next one, mail transfer. Once a connection has been established, the SMTP sender may send one or more messages to the SMTP receiver. There are 3 logical phases to the transfer of a message. A mail command identifies the originator of the message. So first one, I will check the mail from whom it came. After that only I will open the mail. Now there are so many spam messages. So unwanted mails we cannot open because it will create virus to our system, and sometimes it will threaten us also. So if it is important, if it is in proper address, then we can open the mail. So first it will identify the originator of the message. Okay. One or more RCPT commands identify the recipients for this message. The data commands transfer the message text. Okay. Next, limitations. Everywhere there are some limitation or some of the rules. Limitations are some of the rules to be followed while sending the mail. SMTP cannot transmit executable files or binary objects. I cannot send the programs to anyone. SMTP cannot transmit text data that includes national languages, characters, as these are represented by 8-bit codes with values of 128 decimal or higher. The SMTP is limited to 7-bit ASCII. Only 7-bit ASCII values can send through SMTP mail server. SMTP servers may reject mail messages over a certain size. SMTP gateways then translate between ASCII and the character code EBCDIC. Do not use a consistent set of mappings resulting in translation formulas. Some SMTP implementation do not adhere completely to the SMTP standards defined. Only 128 decimals can be included, and we can send only 7 bits of ASCII values. Next one is multi-purpose internet mail extension. SMTP provides a basic email services while MIME adds multimedia capability. MIME is an extension to SMTP and used to overcome the problems and limitations of SMTP. What are the SMTP's limitation? We can send only 128 bits and 7-bit ASCII value. So overcome that limitation, what was introduced? MIME. What do you mean by MIME? Multi-purpose internet mail extension. Email system was designed to send messages only in ASCII format. So languages such as French, Chinese, etc. are not support image and audio video files cannot be sent. MIME adds a next IMAP, Internet Mail Access Protocol. What do you mean by IMAP? Internet Mail Access Protocol. Internet Mail Access Protocol. Internet Mail Access Protocol. It is application layer internet protocol that allows the email client to access email in a remote mail server. It is a method of accessing electronic mail message that are kept on a possible shared mail server. IMAP is a more capable wire protocol. So IMAP is a application layer protocol and it is a wired protocol. IMAP is similar to SMTP. It is a client server protocol running over TCP on port. Every protocol has a port number. What do you mean by TCP? Transmission Control Protocol, in which it is IMAP is working on port 143. So IMAP allows multiple clients simultaneously connected to the same mail and throw flags stored on flags consist of zeros and ones. Different clients accessing the same mailbox at the same or different times can detect state changes made by other clients. In other words, it permits a client email program to access remote message stores if they were local desktop computer at home, workstation at the office, and a notebook computer while traveling without the need of a transfer message or file. So what does the IMAP means? It is a internet mail access protocol, the first point. Next, it is application layer protocol. It is allows to remote login into the remote mail server. and it is a method of accessing mail messages that are kept possible in mail server. So it is works on the TCP on port 143. Next one is IMAP. Can support mail serving in 3 modes. One is offline mode, one is online mode. So what do you mean by offline mode? That any information you put in the software isn't stored on your computer but instead on your internet connection. So next, online mode. Users may connect to the server, look at what email is available and access it online. This looks to the user very much like having local spool. Offline means it does not stored in the server but it will be stored in the internet. The same thing online, it will be stored in the online server. Next one is post office protocol. So what do you mean by post office protocol? It's application layer internet protocol. Before what we have studied, IMAP. What is that? Internet mail access protocol. It is application protocol. Where it is stored? It is stored in TCP connection on port 143. It is used to access remote mail server. Next one is the post office protocol, which is called as POP3 protocol. It is application layer internet standard protocol used by the local email clients to retrieve email from a remote server over a TCP IP connection. There are 2 versions. The first called POPZ became a standard in mid-80s and require SMTP to send messages. The current version POP3 can be used with or without SMTP. POP3 uses TCP IP port 110. Here we should remember IMAP. We have studied it is stored in port 143 and POP3 will be stored in port 110. Thus requires less internet usage time. POP does not allow search facility. In order to access the message, it is necessary to download them. It allows only one mailbox to created on server. It is not suitable for accessing non-mail data. POP mail moves the message from email server onto the local computer. So, post office protocol is application layer protocol used to access remote server over a TCP IP connection on a port 110. Don't forget on port numbers that it will be stored in 110. The first called POPZ was standard in mid-80s and requires SMTP to send messages. After developed after mid-80s, POP3 does not require SMT to transfer the messages. Thus requires the internet usage. It allows only one mailbox to transfer the mail. POP3 commands are generally abbreviated into codes of 3 or 4 letters. First one is UID, used for open the connection. First, what we'll do to send a mail? We will open a connection or establish a connection. Next one, STAT. It is used to display the number of messages currently in the mailbox. The top we can see how many messages are there. All mail, if we click, we can see how many messages are stored in the mailbox. Next one, list. It is used to get the summary of messages, list of messages. Next, RETR. This command helps to select a mailbox to access the message. Next one, DELE. It is used to delete the message. And RESET. It is used to reset the section into its initial state. Quit. It is used to log off the section. So first one is UID, used to establish a connection or opens the connection. Next, STAT used to display the number of messages that are in the mailbox. And list is used to get the summary of messages. And RETR means used to select a message to access the message. DELE means used to delete a message, or SET means retrieve a message. QUIT means log of the section. Next, important one is domain name system. What we have learned before, the protocols used by the email. What are the protocols? MIME, multi-purpose internet media access protocol. Next one is IMAP, internet mail access protocol. Next one POP3, post office protocol. IMAP is a application layer protocol which works under the port 143, and IMAP works under the port 110. Next one is domain name system. It is important in computer networks. The following are the steps shows the working of a domain name system. It maps the host name to an IP address. What it will know? It will map the host. Every system has a IP address, internet protocol address, which is important for every system. So first one, the user passes the local name to the file transfer client. The file transfer client passes the host name as the DNS client. Each computer, after being booted, knows the address of the DNS servers. The DNS client sends a message to a DNS server with a query that gives the file transfer naming using the known IP address of the DNS server. So first, user passes the host name to the file transfer client. What will the file transfer client do? He will pass to the host name to the DNS client. After the DNS client, he will pass to the DNS server with a query and the IP address of the DNS server. Next, DNS server, what he will do? DNS server responds with the IP address of the desired file transfer server. The DNS server passes the IP address to the file transfer client. The file transfer client now uses the received address to access the file transfer server. So what are the domain name system? First, the user passes the host name to the file transfer client. The file transfer client passes to the DNS client. The DNS client passes to the DNS server. The DNS server responds with the IP address. The DNS server passes the IP address to the file transfer client. The file transfer client now uses the received IP address to access the transfer. This is the domain name system. First, where it is starting? Through the internet, passes to the file transfer client. File transfer client passes to the DNS client. DNS client passes to the DNS server, and DNS server provides a IP address. Next, Symbol Network Management Protocol. It is called as SMTP. The Symbol Network Management Protocol is a framework for managing devices in the internet using TCP/IP protocol suite. SMTP is an application layer protocol that manages and monitors routers distributed over a network. It provides a set of operations for monitoring and managing the internet. SMTP uses services of UDP. What do you mean by UDP? What do you mean by Uniform Datagram Protocol? And two well-known ports. One is 161 agent and 162 is manager. SMTP uses the concept of manager. So SNMP means Symbol Network Management Protocol, used for managing the device working under the protocol suite. Here what are the protocols we are using? TCP and IP. So SMP is an application layer protocol. It used to manage the routers or the network devices which are connected. Next, there are two known ports, 161 agent and 162 manager. So it is used under UDP, User Datagram Protocol. SNMP manager. So manager is a host that runs SNMP client program. The manager has access to the values in the database kept by the agent. The manager checks the agent by requesting the information that reflects the behavior of the agent. The manager also forces the agent to perform a certain function by resetting values in the agent database. So manager means is a host that runs the SMTP client program. The manager has access to the values in the database kept by the agent. So manager what will checks the agent by requesting the information. Structure of management information. What are the structure? To use SM we need rules for naming the object. SMI is a protocol that defines these rules. SMI means structure of management information. SM is a guideline for SNMP is a emphasize three attributes to handle an object: name, data type and encoding method. What are the encoding method we are used? What is the name and what are the data types we used? It functions to name object to define the type of data that are used. To show how the encode data for transmission over the network. To name objects globally, SMI uses an object identifier. SMI uses an object identifier. So it provides rules how the data should be passed. It defines the type of data, how it be stored in the mail server, and what are the types used to encode the data, and what are the variables used, and how the objects can be named globally. Based on tree structure. Tree structure means there are so many trees: binary tree, optimal binary tree. So it consists of tree structure. Starts with an unnamed root. Tree, for example, I will tell. Tree starts with a root node. The root node is also called as parent node. After that, every root node has a child node. Like a parent, we are having the child. The same thing, the root also have its branches that are called as child. And last is the leaf node. After the leaf node, there is no child node. The leaf node is the last node in the tree structure. That is called as tree data structure. The tree structure can also define using a sequence of textual names separated by dots. Next, type of second. The second attributes of a object is a type of data stored on it. To define the data type, SMI uses abstract syntax notation that is common as ASN. SMI has two broad categories of data type: simple and structured data type. True structured sequence and sequence of data type. Sequence means sequence data type is a combination of symbol data type, not necessarily of the same type. Sequence of means a sequence of data type is a combination of symbol data type, all of the same type of a combination of sequence data type. SMI uses another standard basic encoding rules that is called BER to encode data to transmitted over the network. Basic encoding rules that is called as BER. BER specifies that each piece of data can be encoded in triple format, that is called as TLB, tag length and the value. So in this, what all we have seen, first one is email. What do you mean by email? Email is how we can send the data using the email. For the sending of data through the email, some of the protocols are working. One is IMAP, Internet Mail Access Protocol. One is POP3, Post Office Protocol. The other one is MIME, Media Multipurpose Internet MIME extension. That is nothing but a extension of a email. Next one, SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. So first one is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. In this, we can only send the data and it cannot contain the images, text, audio or video file. Just the envelope we can send in SMTP. To overcome the limitations of SMTP, what was introduced? MIME was introduced in the mid 1993s. In this, it is an extension of a mail and it can include both video, audio, images, and we can include everything. Next one is IMAP. IMAP is one of the application layer protocol. It comes under the working of TCP/IP connection. What do you mean by TCP/IP? It is a transmission control protocol and internet protocol which works on the port 143. So after that, what is the next one is POP3. It is also a application layer protocol which works on the TCP/IP connection under the port 110. It is used to send the mail over the internet. Next, the thing is domain name system. It is one of the important application used in the mail access. What is domain? DNS. It is also called as DNS, domain name system. The domain name system have 6 steps. First thing is the host name to the file transfer client. Then it passes file transfer client pass the host name to the DNS client. Each computer after being booted know the address of one DNS server. The DNS receiver sends a message to the DNS server with a query that the file transfer server name use the known IP address to the DNS server. The DNS server responds with the IP address of the desired file server. The DNS server passes the IP address to the file transfer client. The file transfer client receives the received IP address to access the file server. Next one, we have studied about simple network management. The simple network management protocol is also called as SMTP. Is a framework for managing device in the internet using TCP/IP protocol suite. It is also one of the application layer protocol that monitors, manages, routed, distributed over a network. How the devices can be connected over a network, it will identify over a network. It helps in monitoring network devices. Thus, next, structure of management information. It is called as SMI. It is a protocol that defines some of the rules how to guideline. SMTP defines the type of data and the functions used to encode, and the objects that are used globally. So these are the rules followed in SMTP. Next, types of data. The second attribute of an object is type of data stored in it. To define the data type, SMI uses abstract syntax notation. 1. ASN. ASN means abstract syntax notation 1 definitions. SMI has two broad categories, symbol and structure. The symbol data types are autonomic, taken directly from AS1. Some are added by SMI. Different two structured data type. One is sequence and sequence of. What do you mean by sequence? It's a data type combination of symbol data types. What do you mean by a data type first? What do you mean by data? It is a collection of information. What are the three types of data types? First one is integer data type, floating data type, double data type. Integer means 0 to 9. Float means decimal values. Double means all the values. Okay, that is called as data types. If we consider data type, there are so many data types. The primary data type, secondary data type. What are the primary data types? Float, integer. Secondary data types means union, structure, enums. What do you mean by union? It is a well structured. So what is a sequence of? Sequence of is a data type is a combination of symbol data types, all the same type or a combination of different sequence data type. Encoding data. What do you mean by encoding? Encoding, decoding. It is important in data. Encoding means the text will be encoded into an encrypted text, and decoding means the text will be decrypted. That is called as decrypted text. So SMI uses another standing, basic encoding rules. What do you mean by basic encoding rules? BER. It is generally called as BER, to encode data to be transmitted over the network. BER specifies that each bit of data is encoded in a triple format. Triple format means it contains length and value. TLB. What do you mean by TLB? Triple format data. So these are the types of email protocols. Thank you. Have a nice day.